Hello, folks, out in Facebook land. We're getting ready to do our live broadcast. We have a special guest laying on the floor sleeping right now, River. For those of you on Facebook, River's a cool dog. If you stick with us during our 7-minute break, he just came in today for boot camp. He's really cool. He's a good dog. He's tired because he's been in daycare all day. And during our 7-minute break, if you can tolerate us for that long, if not, you can come back. But during our 7-minute break, we're going to take River, 7-month-old, 8-month-old Alaskan Malamute, and just play around with him and watch the evolution. He's here for our 12-day boot camp program. Admittedly, because he's young, we have the ability to shape his behavior very easily, rather than most of our boot camp dogs come in when they're 2 or 3 years old and they've developed all these bad habits. So if you watch the evolution of River, and he's a very nice temperament dog, he just needs some tweaking. And what we'll do in this our 12-day program is just make it better. We start from wherever the dog is and see what we can accomplish in 12 days. Frankly, we've done a lot already today, which I hope during the break you'll see the different things we've done today in one day. So we're just going to build on all of that. So it's exciting, I think. So I think we're going to be busy. We have several dogs coming in for boot camp this week, 3 or 4, and we just take each personality into consideration. We're going to get started here any minute. We don't have our assistant, Danielle, so we'll see if we can get along. I hope she's watching, her and Stephen. Watching. 10 seconds. Salud. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Dish on Dogs, the show all about dog behavior. And what we try to do here, the Dish on Dog, is dish out advice and information and teach all of our anthropomorphic human beings how to bridge the gap between what you think dogs need and what dogs actually need. And it's really challenging because dogs are probably one of the most anthropomorphic victims of anthropomorphism than anything. Certainly we don't have this problem with alligators, polar bears, but dogs are kind of a victim in a sense because we love our dogs so much that we love our dogs so much. So I'm your host, Mike Gould, founder and mayor of Houndstown, USA, as everyone knows. It's home to the happiest dogs on earth. We now have 24 locations in 8 states, and we're growing very rapidly. And why is that? We're a fully interactive daycare facility that offers services, grooming, boarding, etc. But our core business is getting dogs to interact in safe, healthy packs. They come in hyper, and they should leave tired, although I do see some dogs still have a couple of breaths left. By the way, joining me is the lovely Ashley Pizzo and her very handsome and capable husband, John Pizzo. Oh, right?
I had to throw that in there.
I got to throw that in. He's a good man. He helps out here, and he puts up with Ashley. So right off the bat, he's got one foot in heaven's door, so to speak. So, so we got River. I forget because we were talking on Facebook Live. So we have River here with us today. He's here for his first day. He's this beautiful. For those of you who can't see on Facebook, I'll describe him. He's this beautiful, humongous, 8-month-old Alaskan Malamute. Yeah. And he's here for our 12-day boot camp program. So we just started today, so we figure we'd bring him in to show folks on our Facebook Live how we go about developing a dog's behavior, and in this case, shape behavior. So when we have a dog like River, which is unusual because most people bring their dogs into us when they're like 3 years old and they're like crazy, barking, jumping, humping. But that's what we do. So if you have a dog who's a humper, jumper, dumper, barker, chewer, have all of these digging, we have a couple of diggers at home, and we'll talk about that because I'm sure Jackie and her mom, Eileen, my wonderful mother-in-law, is listening, hopefully. Oh,
yeah, he's listening.
Oh, good. So I got to behave tonight. So Jackie, she's the boss. She's the He's the boss, so we have to be careful. So our dog actually digs holes in the backyard and we can talk about why that is and how to prevent it, why a dog digs. It's a primal behavior. You give a dog a bone, and they dig a hole and bury it. It's pretty simple stuff. They don't really realize that they're ripping up the lawn or your sprinkler systems. But that's what the show is about, actually. So the show is about taking these behaviors that are natural for dogs, as I said, humping and jumping, barking and chewing, are dog behaviors. You know, they're not obviously appropriate all the time in our domestic world. We bring them into our maniacal little crazy world of human behavior, and we actually separated them from their natural pack, right? They were in a litter at one point, and that was natural. Then we take them and we bring them into our home, and we love them to death. We buy them Tempur-Pedic beds, bottled water, vitamins, medications, and we do to them like we do to our poor children, right? We smother them with love, don't set boundaries, and the doorbell rings, so what your dog was at 4 months old is now a lunatic at 1 year old. So what we're trying to do with River, our Alaskan Malamute, and he is very well behaved already, so he's got a really baseline. The pet owners have done a great job, but everything can be made better, and that's our goal. So that's what we have River. So the goal of the show is to teach you how to effectively communicate, because dogs speak a completely different language. They live 18, I know I'm repetitive and I've gotten criticized because I say the same thing over and over again, but you know what? I say the same thing. Listen. And in the second segment, actually, we're going to talk about the problems right next weekend, the 4th of July. 4th of July and Halloween are the most two stressful days for dogs and old men like me. Halloween and the 4th of July there are going to be dog bites, there are going to be children going to the hospital, and again, the reality is the reality, so why not listen? Fireworks. I'm supposed to wait till the second segment, right?
No, you can introduce the show, yes, what our topic is.
Well, that's the topic, is the 4th of July, but I want to go into detail, because it's a statistical nightmare. Kids are going to the hospital, dogs are going to the shelter, it's going to be a nightmare. So we can prevent that by just using what some people call common sense. I like to just be reasonable and understand why these problems are going to occur. And we at Houndstown, we usually, see the aftermath of this. I get phone calls with people crying and sobbing. The dog just bit somebody, or the dog did this, the dog did that, it ran away, whatever. And I get it. I feel bad because people just don't take it into consideration. But I can't talk about that now. I have to talk about that during the next break. I do want to congratulate, we got two new, so we do have 24 locations in 8 states. We now have North Carolina just came into our system. So we have this wonderful family, Steve Deidre and their daughter Ashley, is opening up in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've never been to Raleigh, North Carolina. Me neither, but we will be there. We will be there soon. In fact, Ashley and I tomorrow morning are going to Detroit, because we're opening a location there in about 8 weeks. And then we'll go into Pittsburgh. We're opening a location.
Joe, I think, is actually watching. So
Joe's watching? All right, Joe's the man. Joe, Cody, they're really great. And this is going to be, I have of course I have optimism for all places. But sometimes I just, so we're excited. So we're going to go check out Detroit at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Then we're driving to Pittsburgh.
As quick as we can.
Yeah, as quick. You're going to be driving. I'm going to be sleeping. I'm going to be working. And it's going to be a long day. But we're excited about all these things. In Orlando, we have 3 locations actually opening up. So they're all in different states or different stages of development. And we're excited about it. And we like it because we offer a service that, very truthfully, we have very little competition, because we focus on the dog brain. A lot of our competitors focus on the human needs. So they have couches and they have bottled water. We don't have the dogs are licking puddles of water outside. They're drinking rainwater. So, and they're fine with that, actually. When I was a kid, I drank water out of a hose. So now, who knows where the bottled water comes from? So, I have no idea about this. But it's just kind of crazy. And we are an outlet. And we love our customers. We love the fact that they love their dog. And your vet loves that you love your dog, because you bring them there 2-3 times, the dog has sniffles and he gets run to the vet, and you pay $150 because the dog has an allergy. So that's the show, really. And our business model is try to explain to our listeners, our viewers, and our customers that a lot of the things that you're doing are unnecessary, expensive, and we project too much. And we'll talk about all of those things, particularly in the second segment. We're going to talk about that. And then after the second segment, for those of you on Facebook, and if you're not, you can look at what we do because we post these. Is that right?
Yeah, these are all going to be posted on YouTube, on our Houndstown USA YouTube page. Actually, all of our videos are up there. And then any kind of training we're doing, seminars, it's all up on there so people can check it out. But they can, anytime they go on a Houndstown Radio Facebook page, all the shows are on there every week.
So so if you're bored to death, you have nothing to do,
or sit in our lobby,
it's
on
right,
the TV.
Right. So you want to be bombarded by this, but every once in a while we do have some interesting things. Not too often, but and I know I'm a buffoon. I know I repeat myself. I know I never answer to talk about the topics, but we have a lot of fun, and I think there'll be helpful tips, particularly about 4th of July. Also, last night, what did we do last night? We went to where were we?
The town of Brookhaven Animal Shelter.
Right. So this is my home shelter, Brookhaven Animal Shelter. This is a really wonderful place. So I want to give a shout out to Johnny, Karen, and Jean, their dog trainer there. We had this wonderful, you can see a picture, it looks like a dysfunctional family reunion. If you look at the picture, did you post the picture of us?
Yeah, that's up there.
Right, so it's like a rogues gallery. It looks like, again, my family reunions. But we had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of laughs, although it's a very serious topic. The folks at the shelters are in, desperate situation, in my view, because they're dealing with dogs that are difficult. They ended up there, strays, abandoned, surrendered. And now you got to find them safe homes, not just a home, but a home where they'll thrive and not get themselves in trouble and end up coming back. And sooner or later, things don't go well. Yeah, so the Brookhaven Animal Shelter, I've been going there since 1966. Can you imagine? I got my first dog.
How old were you back then?
I was just born. No, I was. But anyway, my first dog came from the Brookhaven Animal Shelter. It was actually on Canine Road. That's a clever name for the dog shelter. The old shelter was on Canine Road. All right, listen, we're taking a break. We want to talk a little bit more about what we did at the Brookhaven Shelter. We're going to talk about the dangers right next weekend. I'm going to tell you what's happening, even because you're not going to listen to me. Tune in after the break, 2 minutes. Houndstown Radio.
Yeah, Joe and Cody are going back and forth on here.
And then for you guys on Facebook, I'd like you to follow the development, the progression of our dog, River. And I don't know if River's mom and dad are watching, but
I let them know.
Right. Most people this week have a life, so if you are watching this on Facebook or even listening, I'm very sorry for you because it's sad. As I said, get a life. It's 4th of July week. It's 90 beautiful out up in the Northeast. Get a life. Well, no, seriously, I really mean it. I so much want to be where my customers and family and friends are that have a life, but I'm here.
What about us?
Well, it doesn't say anything. It says it's a sad thing. Me, the three of us, River, we're here, whatever. But it's going to be fun we're going to see. Ashley's been working with this dog for probably totality 20 minutes today. And part of bringing the dog here is like our initial phase to introduce the dogs to distractions, because you never know how a dog is going to react to carpeting, to tile, to sounds of this glass sliding doors. So the airport is really kind of a tremendous place. And it's free. It's paid for by you, the taxpayer. So we use the Long Island Railroad Station. These are like free agility courses for us, and we'll see if we can pump some life into River for the last few minutes of the show.
He's actually dreaming over here. He's running in his sleep.
He's running? You sure that's what he's doing? Maybe he might be dreaming about what's the beautiful poodles that we have come in. What's her name?
Sophie and Luna.
Sophie and Luna.
They'll be here on the 3rd.
Yeah. Who's coming? Luna's coming.
Luna's coming, yeah. Sophie's not.
Right. So there might be a love affair. We set these things up for what's a holiday? What is that? Valentine's Day.
The kissing booth. Yep. That's not for a while.
That's not for a while. But they're still young. They shouldn't be dating. He shouldn't be dating.
That's until next year.
Yeah. But they're too young for that kind of kissing
forgets.
booth. Who does?
You, when Valentine's Day is.
All right. Bear with us, folks. Welcome back, everybody, for those of you who don't have a life that are actually listening to this broadcast. I'm sorry, you know what it is? This is the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host, Mike Gould, Houndstown Radio. But, come on, realistically, if it was February, March, it was snowing out, then I get it. You get a bottle of wine, a six-pack of beer, and you tune into Houndstown Radio. But
50 degrees outside.
It's beautiful outside. Everybody's at the beach. Literally, the airport is abandoned here. So I don't know what's happening. But so anyway, we do appreciate it. We can commiserate with you because we're here. I know Jackie and Eileen are watching. I know my friend Tom Sullivan down in Ocala is listening with his mom Joan. These are faithful listeners, and we appreciate that. So before the break, we talked about we do safety seminars. Houndstown Charities goes around and we do our version, give our opinions on how to manage dogs in a shelter environment, and that's what we did last night. And it was really fun because it was a good energy.
Try to encourage them too, because it is a relatively not sad environment, but the staff make it fun, but it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, it's a lot happening. So if you think about a municipal shelter, their goal is, of course, to rehome dogs. So as I was talking about earlier, 50 years ago, when I adopted my first dog in 1966, the dogs literally, and it's sad, they came to the shelter. If it was picked up strayed or surrendered, whatever the circumstance, I think they had 72 hours, but no more than 5 days. And at the end of the 5 days, the dogs were just euthanized. That's it. However they did it, I don't know if they gassed them or incinerated them. It was horrible. It was a horrible situation, and I'm so glad that society has moved away from that. However, here's the kicker. They moved so far away from it, that some shelters, not Brookhaven, but I'm dealing with shelters now that don't take anything into consideration. So they just take a dog that needs to be managed, never euthanized. You'll never hear me say a dog should be euthanized, because as long as there's zoos with lions and tigers and bears and there's habitats that animals live wonderful existence, I'm not sure a zoo is that. But when you see these wonderful, what do they call those places?
Sanctuaries.
Sanctuaries, right, where they can get all their needs met. Truthfully, in many situations, if it's a good sanctuary, they're going to live a better life there than in some homes.
Right.
Because the sanctuaries dogs can be dogs. They run in packs, they get fed, they get loved, they get all these things. But anyway, the shelters have a tough place. And one of the things about Brookhaven is it is a sad place. There's no doubt about it. And it's constant. It never stops. It's a revolving door of dogs coming and going. And they try very hard to safely send them out. And find what we would call their forever.
They have a pretty good success rate. I mean,
they do.
We go in there and there's constantly new dogs. The dogs we just worked with aren't there.
Right. And obviously the dogs that are easy to adopt, they go to private shelters or something where, they're easy to adopt. So the dogs at municipal shelters are usually your bully breeds that got a bad reputation. They got themselves in trouble somehow. Always at the hands of a human. Somewhere along the line, a dog is at a shelter because of a human. They didn't manage them right. They didn't take the responsibility. And we know, folks, and we talk about bully breeds, your pit bulls, your Rottweilers, obviously they're big, powerful dogs. And there's, how many pit bulls there are, or pit bull type dogs? There's like 5 million, 3 to 5 million dogs. So from a statistical point of view, they're probably not as, but whatever. The point is, Johnny, Karen, Jean, they try hard, the whole staff there. We had really a lot of laughs there. It was fun.
I have a couple pictures I should probably post.
Yeah, post them. But they put up with any time people can put up with me is a good day. So let's talk about 4th of July. Next weekend, all the ingredients for disaster, both human and animal, is there. So here it is, fireworks, which it's a very funny thing. 4th of July is supposed to celebrate independence, and you're blowing, most veterans not me, but most veterans that were really in war, they don't really want to hear M80s going off at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so I just find it funny. And then alcohol, so we got fireworks, right? Yeah. Explosives, basically, let's call them what they are. They're explosives in the hands of people that are drinking, kids and dogs. They're all running around,
and a lot of food.
So the hot dog falls off the barbecue. The dog picks up the hot dog, or it takes the hot dog out of a kid's mouth. Bottom line, it is a recipe for disaster. And we can laugh now because it hasn't happened yet. But statistically, it's happening. Kids are going to get their fingers blown off, their eyes, it's drunken people. You know, it's oh my God. I don't even like to think about it, right? And that's only at my own house, right? We're having a big barbecue at our house this week, and but we know. Here's the truth of the matter: is we have 4 dogs, and they're not going to bite anyone. How do I know that? Because we're not going to allow them to be in contact with all my drunken friends and relatives, and there's not going to be any fireworks at our house because I just think that's weird. I just don't get it. If you want to see fireworks, go watch fireworks.
Yeah, you go to Jones Beach. Yeah. There's a lot of places that.
And it's all good, folks, until it's bad. Everybody looks at me like I'm some Debbie Downer and I don't know how to have fun. That is absolutely true. I don't know how to have fun. But for those of you who are trying to do, I don't even understand it. I don't understand how to get drunk, blow off fireworks, have your 5-year-old, 10-year-old children running around. Your dog is petrified. All right, let's stick to the topic of dogs. Never mind humans. Dogs are petrified by this. They know that. Do you think they understand Can you think you can explain to them that it's 4th of July and we're celebrating our independence and just enjoy it? Of course not. So they're going to be terrified. And then when you throw children running around. So again, it's a recipe for disaster. The best thing I can tell you, I can't tell you how to manage your children. That's a whole other thing. But your dogs, just don't expose them to this. They don't want to be socializing with you. Now, obviously, there is a small percentage of dogs that will do fine, and they're not. That makes me sound like I'm an cautious person. But I will tell you, the emergency rooms are filled with, on all these holidays. As I said, Halloween, do you think a dog knows what a Frankenstein outfit is, or
a ghost costume?
A ghost costume, right? So the kids ring the doorbell, trick or treat, and then Fido bites them. So, and then everything is a drama after that. Then nobody knows what to do. The dog gets euthanized. It's a mess. All right, what do you have to say for yourself? We got 2 minutes left before your big demonstration. We're going to try to revive this dog if he's still alive. Is he breathing over there? What's his name? River.
His tongue is out of his mouth.
His tongue. He's had a rough day. All right. He's dreaming. He's dreaming. So we're going to take River out and just do some basic socialization. So you don't have to do big things. I think the whole point of what we do at Houndstown is keep it simple, because the dog brain is a relatively simple one compared to the human brain. So we're going to expose the dog to sounds, odors, movement, and we're going to put leadership. We're going to leadership and put structure in his life, because they're pack animals. There's the key word. They're pack animals that we've removed from their natural pack. When they were born, we went and we picked the one that we thought was cute, like the one we had, and we bring them home. We buy them everything. We bring them to the vet. We do all these wonderful things, but we never take care of the dog brain, which I find unbelievable. And I get it. You know, people will go out and buy pocketbooks, shoes. If I tell them my lessons cost $300, they look at me like I'm insane, because that's how much my lessons cost, right? They cost $300. And people think that, but yet they're pocketbooks, they're whatever they do for a living or hobby, right? Made out of leather, by the way, right? Usually, that's another story. We'll save that for another topic. Right. So, all right. So if you eat cheeseburgers or whatever, you're not. You know, come on, give me a break. So, I don't know. Why am I even saying that? What?
We even had customers coming in today asking our advice of what to do, because they're not having crazy parties at their house, but their neighbors are throwing off fireworks, and the dogs really don't know, what's going on. So I think that's something.
But that's smart, because what we talk about is not training dogs, but managing them. What better way to manage them than to bring them to Houndstown, USA?
Right.
And they're still going to.
We have a couple customers that just take them for the sheer fact of getting them out of the house.
Right, and even over the summer, just for family barbecues, the dogs don't want to be there. They don't want to be there. It's very unpredictable. I don't want to be there. I love my grandchildren, but when they come over, I have a knot in my stomach because they're lunatics. And that's why children are the #1 victims of dog bites. That's a statistical fact. Yeah. Folks on Facebook, watch this amazing demonstration. For those of you who don't have Facebook, you can only imagine what's going to happen here for 7 minutes. And then join us after the break. Houndstown Radio. We'll be back in, I think, 6 or 7 minutes. And don't miss all the excitement. All right, get to work.
Come on, big boy.
He's out like a
Get a life. Don't watch the show. But don't miss the
Come on,
excitement.
River.
All right.
You have your balls and
I
your
got my
toys.
balls. Where are they?
You're in the bag.
It's on the show.
Right here, Mike. I'm not. That's not.
All right, go ahead, go ahead. So there goes Ashley with River, and she's just, the point is she's putting structure just by keeping him on her left side, and she's relaxed. This is what you want to see. We've been doing this for a total of 40 minutes. Look at her arms, her body. The dog is always, for the next 12 days, this dog is always going to be on the left side. Make a turn, praise him up a little, let get some excitement into his life. Good, yeah, she can go fast, she can go at a normal pace, make a right, head towards the, what do you call this thing? We'll make him a drug. Yeah, make go towards the bed. So he has a place he has to go. This is simple. The only place we give a dog food is when he goes on his bed. So she's going to give him a treat. We're not going to give him food for anything but this behavior. So just think about this. If the only time this dog or any dog in the universe gets food is when they're on a definite place, they're always going to be there. And now she can walk away, she can come over by me, there's no energy. And trust me, there's a lot of stuff happening here. I'm going to distract him. This is a dying animal. So now, this is good, right? He can stay there for 20 minutes, a half hour, but he can't stay there for 24 hours. The human, you have to be reasonable. But we don't work. Let's see what else. So I got my bag of tricks. I got food, he's laying down. We don't care if he lays down or stands on his head. I have my ball that we throw, she throws. And if we want him to participate, which we will tomorrow, then he plays ball with us. But we have to dictate what happens. So Ashley's just going to get low, and she's going to call him. Getting low gives you a cue. And look at this, he's a happy boy, happy boy. The leash and collar, then she's going to pick up her leash and she's going to walk. Then this isn't big, he's not jumping. This is at literally day one. Make a left. Right, go up on the, let's see if he'll inspect for bombs along the what is this thing called? Baggage thing. We're not going to start it. But he's going on there. This is an obstacle course. Most people at home watching this, you can't get your dog to do this, and we've had this dog for a day. And then come this way. So the airport is paying our obstacle course right up there. Relax. Notice there's no tension. No tension. So beautiful. Thank you.
How wait?
Huh? I don't know. He's a lot of hair. Unlike me. Go back to the bed. Understand what you might be taking for granted. There's carpet, there's tile. I've had dogs that wouldn't put their pads on tile. Shadow. That's where she marks that behavior with a treat. She's not talking, she's not yelling, she's not screaming. This is all done by movement, and we'll talk about this when we go back on the radio. He gets his treat. Let's see, what else can I do? I got my squeaky toy, I got my ball, I got food. Let's see. He knows where his food is, but he can't react to any of these things. And what's so funny? I'm a mess. So all we're doing, I got my mask. So this is what shelters should be doing. Shelters should be doing this, temperament testing the dog, because we're doing this for a reason, not just to play around. There's a psychological benefit to everything we do. He's laying down. I'm going to see if Ashley can step over him. You try to do this at home with the dog. That's not easy, stepping over a dog. It looks easy, but think about your dog at home. Then I put my mask on, and I walk around like a nut. We ready to go in here?
3 minutes.
How many? All right, so we have 3 minutes. I think my point is, in 12 days, next week we'll bring them back on, and we'll see. It's not going to be anything, it's just going to be better than it was today. So we always look at, when we're doing animal behavior, is it better, the same, or worse? There's only those three possibilities. Well, how much better can this get? So we're getting ready to go back on. I'm going to bend over. Last week when I was squeaking the toy, I was getting dogs at home crazy, right? Somebody was complaining that I was squeaking my squeak. And what is a squeaky toy? It's the sound of a dying animal. That's why dogs like it, and that's why they like to take the squeaker out. Because your little baby at home is a predator that wants to eviscerate Santa Claus. Okay.
enough. So Ashley's gonna get low, and that's gonna be the dog's cue. Watch, she drops low. That's it. She picks up the leash, and then she walks with him on, where's the dog gonna go? On her left side. She loves the dog. That's the reward, is her love. She can go fast. Look at that. Then she can come back, maybe. Is this a happy dog? Is this a pressed dog? Remember, we don't use pinch collars, prong collars, none of this. We don't give this dog a treat for walking on her side. It's ludicrous. Let's go back inside and we'll do the rest of our show. That's good. So guys, when you look at the interaction, this is a happy dog. He's a happy dog. There's no talking or yelling. Did you hear her yell, sit to stay, to do heel? No. Everything's been done with movement. All right. We're going to be on in 30 seconds.
Are you using a charger?
Wow, I'm getting good compliments.
From who?
By Jackie.
Wow.
Wow. We love you, Jackie.
It's a nice hat.
Scott likes your hat.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Gould. For those of you who aren't watching Facebook, we're back live here at Houndstown Radio, the Dish on Dogs. I'm your host. I'm here with Ashley. We got this wonderful Alaskan Malamute.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's cool. He's just really responsive to our training, and it's going to be a lot of fun to have him for 12 days. And if you don't watch us now, you can watch us online and just watch his thing. It's so simple. This is what really kind of, I think, drives us crazy, is the simplicity of this. And how you'll see we don't talk to dogs. Because why? Because dogs don't talk. We don't. So Ashley's not yelling at the dog. We're not requiring him to lay down. We're not oppressing the dog. This is very important. When I look at these poor dogs here at the airport, this is another one of my little issues that I have. These emotional support dogs. This is a joke. It's crazy. It's insane. You know, and we do know that you can go online and get an emotional support vest. They send you a vest and stickers in the mail. You pay a couple of $100.
I think it's just $100. That's it. And you can get it discounted. There's
no restrictions. You let them on the airport. And then do you think
they only have to be behaviorally checked? I'm pretty sure.
No, there's no behavioral exam. None. Zero. So I love dogs, but I don't want to be sitting next to some smelly flea taxi on my already overcrowded Southwest Airlines. I'm going to die tomorrow at 6 o'clock if I go on this plane.
You get freaked out when you pull out your neck pillow and bite you.
Right. I'm going to have an emotional support dog, smelly-ass dog next to me. Come on, please, give me a break. And how about the dog? Think of him. You're shoving him under the front seat of the car.
I have anxiety on a plane.
Right.
And I can understand what's going on.
Right. We have our brain that we can figure out what's happening, so we know what all these things are. But it really gets my goat. And for all the animal rights activists that are out there and so forth, I'm surprised they're not protesting that. Because if you really care about the dog, don't allow them to fly on, it's insane. Anyway, bring them to Houndstown, USA. Let a dog, we're Houndstown, USA, the dogs hump, jump, and dump. They're not getting yelled at. They're not getting shoved in bags and under seats and all this insanity that an airport is like the epicenter of insanity. Yeah. Every lunatic in the world, and it's bad. Anyway, All right, I always get caught up on that because I'm here at the airport actually, and we see dogs coming and going. And
Scott said, "Thanks for not calling them therapy dogs."
I've learned. My friend Scott down in Florida, there's 3 categories which we know is emotional supports dog, which have nothing. They're nothing. You just literally pay $150 tonight. You can go online, and they'll send you a certificate in the mail, a vest, et cetera, et cetera. Then there's therapy dogs, which my friend Scott trains actually and trains. We're going to talk about that, where they take dogs into court and they make people more likely to testify truthfully. I guess I don't know.
Intimidating factor.
No, it's not intimidating. Relax. The dog can't be. It's a whole thing. And Scott's going to come on one of these days, and it's going to be. We're going to have a spirited conversation about why he feels that it provides this great service to humanity. And again, and by the way, I used to train therapy dogs, but I stopped when I remember training a dog for a person that had Parkinson's disease. And part of Parkinson's disease is you have psychologically, you freeze up, your brain freezes up, and if you understand Parkinson's disease, which I don't know exactly, but you have these moments where your body locks, and you need some type of tactile touch, meaning all they have to do is touch your foot or leg.
Just do a snap, yeah.
And that will make, again, I'm not saying I know a lot about Parkinson's disease, but the point was I spent months and months and months getting this dog to touch the person's foot. Every time he froze, we'd have the dog tap his foot. And it took a while to get that behavior, and it worked. But then I'm thinking to myself, I'm putting all this pressure on the dog, in a sense, to do this. The guy was, there was something wrong with it. If there's a technology, or like, for example, if there's a walker, if you could use a walker or some other stimulus to do that, I just don't see doing that to putting the dog under this kind of pressure.
Well, your phone can actually track your steps now. So, I mean, there's so much easy stuff that if your movement stops, you have something in your pocket.
Exactly. So let's say you're a stability dog. So I'm 235 pounds. So I'm going to take a 240? Right. If I'm going to take, and I do, I'm getting older. I'm not as, so I'm going to take a 70-pound dog, a German Shepherd, or whatever it is, and he's going to, River, and he's going to be there for me to fall on top of, or me to catch my balance. And then let's say he's not properly trained and he sees a rabbit, right? And he goes. So I guess the argument is they are. And then there's police service dogs, which is a different exception in my mind, because with police dogs we're using their natural instincts. And we're enhancing that. We're channeling their instincts, their prey drive, their predatory drive to do all the police work. So when I talk about service dogs, there are different categories, right? So a police dog that hunts bombs or hunts drugs, they're living the life of a dog or apprehends criminals. So it's different than what I see happening many times is you're suppressing the dogs. You're suppressing their natural instinct. And in many cases, breeders are actually breeding kind of the spirit out of the dogs. They want dogs that are so mellow and so good, and it's really for our own purpose. But we'll save that for our friend Scott. He'll come on. And
you want him to continue watching.
Yeah, I want him to be my friend. I want him to continue to be my friend. But again, these things are just arguable. And again, this is just my opinion. I did it. I understand it. But when I need support, I'm going to get a walker or a cane. That's it. I'm not going to get a dog to do that for me. And for many of these things, if there's devices that you can pick items up with, right? You can. Yeah. There's little claw hands. Come on. Yeah. This isn't 1950s. This is what year? 2019. There's technology that can do all these things. All right. How do we get it? This isn't part of the subject.
I tried to get you back on. It didn't work. So, 4th of July.
Right. So 4th of July.
So even if you have a couple tips, so we had customers coming in today asking how could, like you're saying, just bring them to Houndstown, but is there something they can start doing to hopefully get their dog used to this craziness? I know it's hard, but...
No. How can I don't get used to craziness? Here's the thing. So we're talking about alcohol.
Right, so because she doesn't want the vet's like, if your neighbors are blowing off fireworks, then just give the dog a downer, pretty much.
And that I honestly,
she doesn't like it because she feels bad because the dog's
well, there's number one problem, right? The word is feels bad, the guilty. And I've never seen sedatives Because that's what they are. You're just sedating your dog. So if that's what you think is a good solution, I'd like to sedate. Before I sedate my dog, I'd rather sedate my grandchildren. If that would be the real. Keep the dog running around, sedate all the kids, let them be like little not mummies. What is that? Like little zombies. Right. Put them on a couch. I'll watch TV. And so I don't get it. If you got to sedate something, and I understand. Listen, here it is. Our pet owners are very loving, and then the guilt factor. Almost everything with a dog is guilt. I feel bad for and I'm the benefactor of that because people feel bad, so they bring their dogs to doggy daycare. So there's not really a nice solution, and I mean that sincerely. Our dogs, they're comfortable in their crates. They're comfortable in the bedroom. They're comfortable in a confined space. So I don't expose them to all the unpredictable.
Well, this customer wasn't doing that. She's just staying at home, but her dog gets freaked out when he hears the fireworks next door and stuff.
Right. So that's a difficult problem. And as dogs get older, and I don't know, they have this Thunder vest now.
She had that. Yeah, she doesn't know if that worked.
It doesn't work. But and this is why a lot of times in Thunder dogs,
and then they're uncomfortable with the vest on to begin with. So.
Right. So the best thing, take your dog, take him on a ride upstate New York. Here's the best way. If you're really a dog lover and you want to celebrate 4th of July, find somewhere where there's no human beings. Put your dog in a car, go out to the beach somewhere, and spend 4th. It's hard because this craziness doesn't last 4th of July. Now it lasts the 3rd of July. It goes all throughout the summer.
The graduation parties are now.
Oh, I'm getting a knot in my stomach. Yeah, so here's the problem. As we humans encroach on animals, that's all we're doing is encroaching on their natural instincts. And they get blamed for their reaction to our natural instincts. So dogs sometimes, if they're not exposed to people that drink, just the odor of alcohol in a person's system, the odor of diabetes sometimes triggers aggression. So the trick is, of course, to have the best socialized dog you can. And I would imagine this dog River here, if we started now, we can socialize. Obviously, we train police dogs to fire gunshots, but it's a process that takes a long time. It's not something you just do on July 1st, that's for sure. So, we expose dogs and police horses. They're exposed to all of this environmental craziness, but it's a long, long process, and the dog has to have the right temperament for it. So, unfortunately, there's not an easy answer to this. So,
we do have a lot of customers that will just board their dogs with us because we got the concrete building. It's kind of industrial. There's not that much fireworks.
You're right. And the pack settles the pack, and we'll talk about that. I think that's the important thing because you make a good point. What's the difference of being at your home or a doggy daycare during this? And I'll explain that.
Well, doggy daycare is, I think, slightly better if you're you don't have neighbors blowing up.
But not only that, but they get the support of the other pack members, and I'll kind of explain that after. And it's not perfect. They're gonna, if you blow off a firework in our parking lot, you're gonna have 100 barking dogs.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna stay with us here on Facebook, on the radio. Tom and Joan Sullivan, Ocala, Scott down there.
He'll still be your friend.
All right, he's gonna be my friend. Stay with us. We only have one more segment. Hallelujah! One more segment to go.
You can run it past 0, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Joe told you that the first week.
He said to end as close to 0 as possible, be honest.
No, he said, but don't rush to get to 0.
Jackie said we're looking real good. Cigar night there, so I'm going to smell. I will brush my teeth.
How many are you allowed a day?
I am one a day. And then I go home, I rinse for 30 seconds, brush for 30 seconds, I scrape my tongue, floss, rinse again, take a shower.
30 seconds is the...
30 seconds before brushing, then brushing, 30 seconds after, scrape your tongue. Do you know that? Did you do that? So you probably...
I thought you were saying you brush your teeth for 30 seconds.
No, that should be a minute at least, right, Jackie? At least a minute. No street clothes anywhere, they come off. I got it. I've learned, 63 years old, I'm learning this. What did I say that? I'm 53 years old, and I'm just learning these things. I don't know how I live my life.
Without Jackie.
Mwah. Eileen, mwah.
There's other people watching.
That's all right to all of you. I don't know how I lived this long, but not knowing these basic things. There's not big things, basic. I don't have to brush my hair anymore, so that's a good. I don't have to worry about that, but I do have to shave. It never ends. Never ends. John, do you know all these lessons in life? I think he
He's
does.
starting. Don't worry.
I know not to drug small children.
Drug right, that you know. Well, I think that's good advice, actually.
Okay.
You wanna take that?
Yeah, no, I was waiting for it to start. I usually don't.
So you know before we get on the air.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
What?
Take that. We'll get ready to go.
Yeah. Scott said he'll be in town with us.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host. I'm hearing myself. What a sad. That's horrible. Oh, that's what I sound like. What a horrible situation. Now I know my voice
Why people find you
coming out.
annoying.
Yeah. That's why people call me a buffoon, annoying. I talk too much. I that. All right. Anyway, Houndstown, USA is home to the happiest dogs on earth. I'm the host, Mike Gould, mayor of Houndstown, USA. Ashley Pizzo, you see, for those of you on Facebook, the very handsome John Pizzo behind us, breaking down till next week. All right, so we hit a lot of topics. I don't know. I talked about the main topic, 4th of July. It is, I can't say what I want to, but it's a poopy show or something. It's a nightmare. So I don't know. Why don't we establish a group of people that are antisocial, pack up our dogs, find a secluded place, do something away from humanity, where your dogs will be happy. And I talk about this a lot. We encroach on humanity. So, and then we wonder why the deer, they were here first, right? But they were here first. I mean, then we want to kill all the insects. We live in the woods, but we want to kill the insects. I'm not like a crazy, by the way. I am crazy, but not like this person that thinks that all animals. But I just find it absurd. Some of the things that we go to do. And we've done it. We've created this shark attacks. I can always use them. There's going to be shark attacks this summer, probably more than ever in the history. Sharks haven't changed. They're the same. The truth of the matter is there are 320 million people compared to 100 years ago when there was 100 million. So now the activity in the water is more. The sharks haven't gotten any different. They're the same. The only thing that is evolved is the humans and the human brain. That's why I put my human brain on. The human brain has evolved at such a great rate. I think it's toxic, personally. I mean, obviously it's good, but dogs don't have this problem. Dogs are the same as they were 50,000 years ago. Same. If you look at this Alaskan Malamute. He looks like a wolf. He doesn't look like a human by any stretch of the imagination. What are you going to do? You're going to take a picture? Doesn't he look like a wolf? All right. Anyway, Ashley's fooling around over here, putting the dog on television. But he's a beautiful animal. He's probably about 100 pounds. I have no idea. All right. So we talked about that. What else do we have to talk about? Your husband was doing that, and now you're distracting. New franchisees, North Carolina. People down there in North Carolina. Finally, all these states where we're putting businesses are now, you're finally getting a very straightforward, honest outlet for your dog. We don't fool around. We take the dogs into consideration first. When we do our temperament evaluations, we're actually temperament testing the human being. Should we tell our secrets right now? Should we reveal these secrets?
It's up to you.
Yeah, because the humans, if your expectations, if you don't get them, so really our really good, loyal customers that are watching us, they understand their dog is a dog. It will always be a dog. It can be an amazing family member, but it can't be a human being. You can watch Dr. Phil with them. You can watch Dancing with the Stars. But get down on the ground and live in their world a little while. Don't always make them come up into our dysfunctional universe. And our world is built for us. We don't take the dog into consideration. In Houndstown, our facilities are built for the dog in mind, number one. So they literally live a dog's life. They can do things there that they can't do at home. It's just like a child. A 3 or 4 or 5-year-old kid has to go to playgrounds. They have to socialize with other 3 or 4 or 5-year-old children. You can't isolate them from that. They have to scrape their knees. They have to get a bloody nose somewhere along the line. They have to get cold. They have to get warm. You can't put a bubble. So we're putting bubbles on our children, and we're medicating our children, and now we're putting bubbles. Now that's the only skill we know. And then we project it on the dog. And you'll see example. We'll see River back here in a week. And the question will be to you watching, and those of you who are going to watch, is he going to be better, worse, or the same? And I can almost guarantee better. Do you agree?
Yeah.
All right, what else do you got to say for yourself?
So for our fourth segment, pretty much. So we had a customer come up to us today in the parking lot that a real estate agent gave her.
Oh, I
two
almost forgot
dachshunds.
that.
It's on Facebook posted, but pretty much gave up the dogs because the one peed when you touched him because he got nervous or excited.
Well, no, I don't think that's the story. I thought they...
She said they couldn't stand him constantly.
Right, but I don't know their history, where they got them from. And they probably are a little neurotic, honestly, but they're these cute, beautiful... What are they? What?
They're dachshunds.
Mini dachshunds?
I think just normal dachshunds.
All right,
yeah.
but there's pictures of them online. They're young or no?
Yeah, 7 months old.
Right, so if you guys listening out there, rather than go to a breeder or a pet store and you like dachshunds, look on the... Where is it? Houndstown? What?
Houndstown Radio.
Houndstown Radio. And who?
That's the Facebook page.
Yeah, and look at these are cute little dogs. Of course, they might be a little neurotic. Do they have some kind of problem? Of course they do. But they got to go in pairs.
The two have to go together.
They're not getting separated. Add to the trauma of their life. No wonder the thing is peeing all over the place. He's probably been traumatized. Now we're going to separate him from his litter mate.
His sister.
His sister. Really screwed. You really do a mind.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep them together. They are the people that are adopting. They're beautiful. And how would they find out? If people look on...
If they message us on our Houndstown Radio page, we can get them in contact with Sandy or Kathleen. And
Sandy or Kathleen. They bring their dog Leah.
Leah.
All right, they're having fun tonight. I know for a fact they're not watching. So they are definitely not watching this show because they're having fun. And I got jealous, as I told them. So I was invited, actually, to go to the next party they have. But anyway, I wish I drank heavily like I used to. I don't think it'll be as much fun. But anyway... These two no, they're not mini, whatever they are, dachshunds.
Yeah.
Just look at the pictures. They're beautiful. They're cute. They're up for adoption. Take them home. They'll probably be annoying at some point. But when you adopt a dog, you adopt problems. We have a two-legged dog, Rosie. She's watching at home right now. Rosie's got 2 legs. Of course, she has her needs, and we went into it knowing that Jackie will take care of her needs. And that's fine, and I get to enjoy zooming Rosie. No, but my point is, dogs, there's medical expenses, there's aggravation, they're going to interfere with your social life, as we're talking about the 4th of July. But that's what, as a pet owner, you have to understand that. There is expenses to it. There's expenses to having children. So why am I going off on this rampage? Oh, because... I just think people are oblivious to this. A dog gets kennel cough at one of our facilities and people are complaining because they got to take the dog to the vet, which they probably didn't have to take a dog to the vet, but they choose to take the dog to a vet for a cold. They get a $150 bill and they're upset with us. It's not all, but honestly, very few people. But that's what happens. If you have a child and it skins its knees and you decide a kid has a black eye and you decide to go to the emergency room, guess what? You're going to pay that bill.
Given ibuprofen.
Well, right, or nothing. Right, give him an ice pack and put it on his eye, and that's it. Buy him an ice cream cone, and that's the treatment for a black eye for a child or a bloody nose. So just think is out of balance. Our world is out of balance. There's no end to it. The human population has increased 300% in 100 years. So people that are 100 years old right now, just think there was 100 million people. Now there's 300 million people. We're stuck on an island here. We can't go anywhere. There's no place to go. And now the dogs are stuck here with us. And then this is the shelters are packed. Our friends at Brookhaven, struggling. Smithtown, Brookhaven, Hempstead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's exhausting. And now, but it's a reality. We're going to get stuck with Ashley and I tomorrow going on this Southwest Airlines, this despicable, we're going into this aluminum tube. No, seriously.
You're nothing Southwest for
I am. I am. Of course I am. We're going to be stuck. I won't even be able to move my knees. My arms will be pinned together. And I might have a emotional support dog next to me aggravating the
No,
life
I
out of
put
me.
you in the center aisle.
Right,
You're
I would have to
fine.
take special consideration. All right, so I vented. The good part about the show, it's therapeutic for me because nobody listens to me anywhere else now.
You feel like they are.
I feel as though there's somebody on the other side of this microphone that's empathizing with me and understands my plight. And I don't drink. That's another problem. So I have no way to deal with this except, I don't know, just talk. All right, listen, folks, listen to us next week. We're going to have River.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
going to
have
do
River.
something interesting. I don't know what it is.
Well, Scott said he'll be in town July 22nd. I know that's a little far away, but
Yeah.
he wants to come on the show.
All right, we'll have Scott. He's a retired police canine officer. He's a sergeant in Nassau County Police. We work together, and we can talk about the different things we did there. That'd be a great show.
Yeah.
Nassau County Police Canine Unit. All right, folks. Bye-bye. Next week.